Yeah.
So I think so. We started the conversation with tough love. I'm going to go back to a lot of what Ritika mentioned and try and tell you something. I wanted to come in when she spoke about that example, but I thought maybe I'll save it for the end as a story. So this was a story about four of us almost 18 months ago, Friday evening, sitting at one of the bars in South Bombay. Very, 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 very hectic week, almost working 14 to 16 hours that week. And four of us decided to really let our hair down that Friday evening. And we said, you know what, we're just going to really just have a nice time, enjoy ourselves, be ourselves. We really slogged it out through the week. And before we receive any rewards, recognition, in whichever form or shape it comes, let's do our own small party. So we went out, we started drinking. Let me give you a little bit of persona of the people who were there. So one friend of mine, extremely intellectual, right? So he would be like the most intelligent person in the group, but very shy, very quiet, wouldn't really talk too much. Another friend, he's absolutely entrepreneurial. So while he's doing a job, in every project, he starts thinking from a very business mindset to say, oh, how will it work? How do I make money here? How does this project work in that way? So entrepreneurial mind. He always likes picking up a lot of new projects, gets bored very easily, very high risk taking ability. The third friend, she's pretty much like Ritika, very, very creative, very, very loves art, but in the HR space and doing a lot of good stuff in HR space. But her whole inclination is, how do I make this more creative? How do I make this look more good? The presentation needs to be well packaged. So she has that kind of a persona. And the fourth is in front of you right now. So four of us really went one drink down, two drink down, three drink down. So we look at, so let me give names, right? So entrepreneur, shy, creative, and Sahil. Okay, so let's keep it that way. So entrepreneur, creative, and Sahil look at each other and we say that, you know, Mr. Shy, he's very shy. We don't even know who this guy is, right? You know, he's just so shy. He only talks intellectual stuff, cerebral stuff. But we've spent a couple of years working with him. We don't know who he is as a person. So we all just make eye contact and we said, you know, he's the bakra for the day. We got to get him drunk. So we start drinking slowly. We get him more drinks. He's 6 pegs down, okay? And then he bangs his hands on the table a little aggressively and says, I want to share something with all of you. And we said, wow, you know, we've almost got there. We're going to get him to speak now. He starts off sharing a story. So he says, you know, I've been on Tinder for 6 months and I've been swiping right on every single profile. I exhaust the quota that I have every day and I have been swiping right and not a single match. And you guys are my closest friends and you guys really need to help me. So all of us rally around him and say, of course, we'll help you, Mr. Shy. Don't worry. You know, it's okay. It happens. You know, we know you've been single for a while. We'll be your wingman, wingwoman, whatever. And then we get on to asking him a little bit of difficult questions. We ask him that, okay, so you swipe every profile right. And, you know, I would request you to keep drawing examples to what Ritika said to say if the employer is looking for a BSc IT and you're applying with a skill set that you don't have, I want you to keep drawing that in your mind as you keep listening to the story. Otherwise, it'll just be a good story you heard without being able to relate to it. So he said, yeah, because for me, anybody is okay. I just want to be with someone. I don't want to be alone. So we said, okay. Then we really asked him to say, fine. So what is it that you really look in the, do you read the bio? Do you see some stuff? No, I only look at the picture. If the picture looks nice, if the girl looks nice, I swipe right. I said, but you also said you swipe on all profiles. She said, yeah, because more or less everybody looks nice to me. It's okay. So the guy was all over the place. It was a mixture of him being a little happy, high, and, you know, him trying to be honest as well. Fast forwarding the story, as we really got into talking to him, we realized that the biggest issue with him was not about him not understanding people or getting it right or swiping right. His biggest issue was what he had put in his bio, because of which he never got a match, right? So we started the next day, we went back to office. We asked him, do you remember the conversation last night? On Friday, we got together. Monday, do you remember the conversation? So bits and pieces he remembered. We said, okay, now we're going to work on a project. So we have these things where we create project plans. So we created a WhatsApp group of the four of us. And we created a project plan for him. And we actually got into all the finer nuances of saying, how do you change your profile picture? How do you change your bio? How do we get you connected through various other apps and not just one app? And within a month, we got him on a couple of dates. The interesting part is when he started getting rejected on those dates. Now, this is where you look at an employer-employee or employer-candidate kind of interspersing. And the kind of introspection he did on himself to say, why is it that things are not working out? Where is there a massive disconnect between what I'm thinking, what I'm saying, and how is it making the other person feel? And I think so it was a wonderful thing. You know, all of us in the process, the four of us, learned so much about human behavior, human dynamics. And we all got to know each other so much better just because of Mr. Shai. And today, Mr. Shai is married. He has a young child, which is just born a couple of days back. And when we couldn't really go to the hospital and all of that because of the whole COVID thing, but when we got onto a Zoom call, just really sharing, we went back to that Friday and we had just so much of fun coming together, right? So all I'm trying to say is, long story short, take that moment to get to know. You can't do it by yourself, no worries. You are 120 people on this call, all batchmates, all your professors. Take that time out, get to know them, speak to them, figure out what skills, get some help. Peer-to-peer learning is the best form of learning. Do that, inculcate that, work together. I think Ritika and I are available. It's not just one webinar or 1 hour that we are with you. We're available on LinkedIn. Feel free to reach out to us. I'm taking the liberty of saying it on Ritika's behalf, but feel free to reach out to us at any point in time for any help that you need. We'll be more than happy to connect with you, help you out. But yeah, as far as I'm concerned, I'll make a personal statement. If anybody who writes to me saying, I need a job, get me a job, I promise you right here, right now, I will not respond. So I will teach you how to fish, but I won't really fish for you. So if you want to build skills, you want to figure out what to do, how to do, we'll be more than happy. But if you're going to come out straight there and just say, listen, I want to get married to the girl you meet the first time, the girl's not going to say yes. So with that, thank you so much. It was a wonderful time.